I'm Beth Skinner. I am the director of the Iowa Department of Corrections. So of course, there's many issues around the criminal justice system that need to be addressed. Things such as racial disparities, mental health, utilizing evidence-based practices, data sharing. What I really want to focus on for this question is, I think we need to talk about our staff, and we need to talk about staff wellness. What I'll tell you what we're doing at the Iowa Department of Corrections is we developed a wellness division for our staff. We want to work on our culture. Our staff is our most valuable asset, and they have very difficult jobs, although they're very rewarding. We want to make sure we're taking care of our staff. We want our staff to feel valued, have the tools to be successful through training and professional development, and have pathways in their careers. So one thing I think is really important as we talk about all these other things that in the criminal justice system that are of concerns, one thing I think we need to really focus on as a system is our staff. I think, to me, some of the things that stand out most to me is the success stories, individuals that have been in the system and now are members of our community, living productive lives, living with their families and children. My best stories, I've been working in this field for over 20 years, is going into a grocery store or a gas station and push my cart down the aisle, and someone comes up to me and says, "Beth, do you remember me?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I do." And they say, "Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for helping through this process." And having those conversations with people that have been in the system and have been successful, to me, is one of the most rewarding parts of this job, is seeing people be successful, and seeing that people get second chances and can have a very happy, productive lives in their communities. And those are the things, like when I get stopped at gas stations or, like I said, at grocery stores, I love to see people out there saying, "Thank you, the system helped me." So one thing is, I played rugby for the University of Iowa for 6 years. A lot of people don't know that about me. Another interesting fact is that I failed math all the way from middle school to high school to college, and I ended up getting my PhD, which obviously there's a lot of math involved in that. But I was able to do that because I changed my belief about my abilities. What I want to say about that is that anything is possible for anyone. You can do anything you set your mind to, and that was such a big fear of mine that I was able to overcome. I just want to share this too. So I read something the other day. I think it's really important for not only the correctional system, for people in general. And we talk about big systems and again, corrections and things like that. I read this really interesting piece out of this book. It says, to do extraordinary things, you have to be okay being uncomfortable. Difficult things are not done in comfort zones. So I think that's really important, because to push the field forward, the criminal justice field forward, we have to be uncomfortable at times. So I like being uncomfortable. So I started my correctional career as an intern in the early 2000. When I was working as an intern, I saw the director of corrections come in to the residential facility. And I looked at the director, I was like, I want to be a director someday. And this is, again, 20 years ago. In June 2019, Governor Reynolds asked me to be the director of corrections. It was one of the most proud days, I think, of my career. What's funny about this is that, so the governor called me and I didn't answer her call because I thought it was someone maybe selling me something or something like that. So I didn't answer the phone when she called me. So one of her former staff that worked with us at the time, I said, "Do you recognize this phone number?" He's like, "It's the governor. You've got to call her back." And so I'm like, "Oh my God." So I called, Governor Reynolds, and she offered me the job. And that day, I remember exactly where I was sitting. how I felt, calling my wife and my family. I was so proud, and today to still be sitting here in this chair is such an honor. And every day I wake up and I'm so proud of the things that we do and so proud of our staff.